If you're watching this video, thank you for your interest in my life and our work here in Tanzania. It's been a busy few months here in Bunda and elsewhere. I've been mostly in Bunda. There have been a lot of significant events here going on, in addition to everything in Spiro. Here specifically, the denomination I've been working with, well, one of them that I work with, they hosted their bishop at the national level for about a week, and I served on the praise and worship music team for the outdoor crusade portion of that, which was pretty interesting. I think it gave me credibility with some of the musicians here, some of the singers here in Bunda, which is exciting. Also, in addition to that, there have been 3 choir conferences that I've attended in the last few months. These are 4 or 5 day events where choirs from different regions at different levels up to the national level, they gather in one place and they do a lot of performing, and they get feedback on their performance there in the moment. And so it's kind of intimidating, but also pretty educational. It's like the guys who lead that department in that denomination want to build a particular ethos, particular look or sound in the choirs, for especially the choirs, but also the praise and worship team for their denomination, to make them sort of unique. So in that way, it's interesting. I'm not sure I can get behind it 100%, but it's been an interesting experience. And one of the choirs that we work with, Mangula Uzima, Steve's choir, they were invited to the national level conference in August of this year, where I think they learned quite a lot. It was really eye-opening for everybody at different levels. So it's pretty exciting. In addition to that, at the end of July, we had this seminar concert here in Bunda. Overall, it was pretty successful. I think we were able to do what we were asked to do by God. Definitely, I think that purpose was accomplished, even if not a lot of people attended, at least in my perspective. And that's just because people had other things going on, I think. So maybe in the future we'll do more of those types of events. And at the same time, right around that same time, at the end of July, beginning of August, we received Jeff Logan here in Bunda, which was pretty good overall. Even though we sort of failed in our preparations, we did what we could with what we had. I've talked about that a lot in the written email, so that I don't need to hash into that again. But I will say that this space is already bearing fruit. Really good fruit, actually. I'm using it right now, but Steve has recorded some people. I've also recorded some people, but I see a lot of potential for this space, and so please keep praying for it and for us and our use of it. It's really one more step in a long road, I think. So there's more to come with that, not just with this studio space, but with also other sorts of spaces for the arts in Bunda. Why God called us to Bunda, I have no idea, but this is where we're at. This is where we're at. So in addition to that, looking toward the end of the year, right now we are farming. Well, Steve is mostly farming, and I've invested in it. It's sort of a small business sort of investment, and so please keep praying for that too, that will bear fruit, literally. Although I think we're planting beans and corn, so looking forward to that, as well as being in the United States in December and January and a little bit of February. I'd like to come see some of you if I have the money to do it. But before that, we are applying for new residence and work permits for me to continue living and working in Tanzania. I believe that my time is not here. My time is not yet done here. In addition to that, I've been invited to co-teach a week at Worldview in Tasmania, Australia. It's part of the world I've never been to. I'm going at the invitation of one of my good friends, an amazing woman who does amazing things in Asia. Absolutely amazing. So I'm excited about seeing her, but also this opportunity to see a different part of the world. Also, there's an Inspiro colleague who lives relatively nearby, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to meet up too during that time. After that, also in this last part of the year, I am facilitating VICTA, the Vibrant Communities to the Arts course. that is run by Inspiro. We look forward to this next session, which starts on October 4th. There are 17 people signed up from 5 continents, 10 different time zones. It makes it all complicated, but please be praying for them. Half of them are within OM, half of them are outside of OM, and it's just so easy to get distracted from an online course. My prayer is always that people would get what they need out of it, even if they don't complete with a certificate. So please keep praying for that, and also our future training endeavors through the end of this year. This year has been historical. I've learned quite a lot. One thing in particular I'll mention is that I really enjoy being generous. I don't need a whole lot of things, but I like giving people stuff. Well, I mean, not giving people stuff, but like filling needs in various ways. And not just because that makes them happy, but somehow it makes me happy. I don't know. Also financially, there's another video about that if you really want to see it. But during the middle of the year, I changed my perspective, because I felt like at the beginning of the year we weren't going to have enough money to do everything we're supposed to be doing. Of course, God has weeded out things that we weren't supposed to do this year, maybe next year, and for good and for bad. I mean, we didn't necessarily do anything wrong. He just made circumstances so that we couldn't be doing those things. And so we are still under budget, but I want to see if we will run out of money. Maybe that's a little crazy to say, but rather than saying, oh, we're not going to have enough, I want to see if we can really push it. Push God's sort of generosity, or if you want any more details on anything I've said, please just send me an email. Also, please send me your news. I like hearing about what you're up to. I like hearing about what I could be praying about for you.